offshore oil fields, you have these oil platforms. If the water's too deep, the legs cannot extend all the way to the seafloor. But in shallower waters of a few hundred feet or shallower, it's pretty routine for oil rigs to have legs, giant legs that extend from the platform down to the seafloor and are actually embedded into the seafloor to support the platform. It is a fact that in some of these platforms, you have machinery and instruments inside the legs, and this machinery and these instruments need to be maintained and monitored and repaired when something goes wrong. And so for personnel to get down there, some of these legs are so large you can actually have elevators, industrial elevators, that go down in the legs and take technicians and repairmen down there to take care of the machinery, to fix it, to monitor it, to maintain it, and so forth, to fine-tune it, whatever. This is routine in the offshore petroleum industry. Now, it's also the case that it wouldn't be hard at all to just extend the elevators down into the seafloor. This is one more way, one more means of accessing the seafloor. And I've been told this has happened in some cases, and that not all oil platforms are purely and simply oil platforms, that some of them may have another use above and beyond being an oil production platform.
You mean just as a transport mechanism?
Well, it would be a means of accessing the sub-seafloor environment without attracting attention.
What do they do for oxygen, Richard?
Oh, well, it's easy to generate oxygen from seawater. You don't even need to take oxygen under the seafloor with you. The United States Navy, already back in the 1950s, I believe, developed equipment for using electrolysis, which high school chemistry students do. This is an experiment that anyone can do with very simple, even high school level laboratory apparatus, is to split the oxygen out of the seawater. Now, of course, the water molecule is H2O, and so every water molecule has an oxygen atom. So using electrolysis, passing an electrical current through the water, you can split these molecules and the oxygen will bubble free. You can collect the oxygen and simply use it for breathing. The Navy also developed, and also NASA, technology that permits carbon dioxide to be scrubbed out of the air. And it's used on the space station, for example. It's also used in submarines underway undersea. So through using these two technologies, scrubbing the air of CO2 that builds up and also generating oxygen from seawater, it's easy, and the technology has been around for well over half a century to provide a breathable atmosphere indefinitely in an enclosed space, whether it's a nuclear submarine patrolling for weeks or months undersea, or whether it's a space capsule or a space station in orbit around the Earth, or whether it's an enclosed space in a manned installation hundreds of feet or even thousands of feet beneath the seafloor. That technology was developed already in the middle of the 20th century and has been in use for a long time.
Wow. The Subtropolis in Kansas City, Missouri. And is it Miss Lamar Hunt's
Yes.
underground city?
Family.
What is that?
Well, the Hunt family, of course, are the well-known Texas billionaires, the Texas tycoons, sort of J.R. Ewing types in a sense, but they're just filthy rich. They have all kinds of money, and they own real estate and properties all over the place. One of their vast holdings is so-called Subtropolis in the Kansas City area. The Subtropolis is an underground industrial and commercial facility. It's built out of, or is located in excavated limestone mines. That region of the country is underlain by an extensive layer of limestone, a stratum of limestone.
Could we visit that city?
I don't know. It's private. I suppose if you had business, you could go in and deliver your business card and make a business call. It's not closed to the public in the sense that it's classified or
What's it called, Richard?
Subtropolis.
Just like that.
It's called Subtropolis. There are companies down there doing business, just miles and miles and miles of roadways. Tractor-trailer trucks routinely take cargo, truckloads of goods to and from Subtropolis. There are offices and warehouses down there, loading docks, the whole 9 yards. It's quite a large and elaborate facility that just sprawls for miles, a couple hundred feet beneath Kansas City. It's been there for decades. It's quite big. There are hundreds, maybe even thousands of people working down there. It's like a city beneath a city. That's why it's, you have the metropolis of Kansas City, and then you have the subtropolis beneath Kansas City, and there are people living and working in both environments and have been for many years.
I wonder what Dorothy would think.
Well, it's not Dorothy's Kansas anymore.
I know.
She would feel that she was down the rabbit hole, is what she would think. She would think she was in Alice's rabbit hole. The thing is that this demonstrates so beautifully that in this case, the subtropolis beneath Kansas City is publicly known. It's not secret or top secret. It's not.
How did you stumble upon this information and able to verify
I just did a lot of research. It's not actually secret. Subtropolis is not secret. It's publicly known, and if you want to look into it, you can. Subtropolis actually has its own website. It is a happening place. In fact, if you wanted to have your own warehouse down there and you had the money, I imagine you could. Or if you wanted to have an office down there or store some documents or can have a broadcast studio in Subtropolis, I imagine you could if you're able to pay the rent or buy a space down there. But the idea is that the concept has been proved. In other words, you can have an underground beehive, so to speak, or anthill beneath a major city. In this case, it's publicly known. There's nothing to stop using the same technology, the same mining technology, the same everything. You could also have an elaborate, deeply buried complex with hundreds or even thousands of people underneath any other city. But if you kept it secret, rather than putting up a website advertising your complex, then no one would know. That's the point I'm making. And I presume that has been done.
I would love to visit there.
Well, why don't you go to Kansas City?
Well, I think I'm gonna. I think I'm going to do that and say hello. I would be a little nervous about how far an elevator would take me down there. Maybe I'll put a network there.
Maybe there's more than one elevator. I don't know. Maybe there's the elevator for the open part. Maybe there's a secret part. I don't know. But Subtropolis does exist.
Sounds very interesting, though. And when I'm in Kansas, I will definitely give a call or a knock at the door. And I would love the website address to be able to figure that out.
Well, I think I have the website right there in the footnotes if you want to look.
Okay. Ocean Works International has built the Suit 2000, the Hand Suit 2000, 1000, and 1200, and also the Gym Suit 2000 that allows them to go to deeper depths. How do they breathe in these suits?
Well, if you think about what we just said, the technology for providing breathable air in a deep underwater environment is extremely advanced. It's almost science fiction-like, and they have air scrubbers. They can stay down about 8 hours or so. So, of course, they can take oxygen takes, but through a combination of oxygen tanks and air scrubbers, it's really not an issue and has not been for years and years. The amazing thing to me about these suits is that they can go something on the order of 2,000 feet underwater, which is way down there. And they enable divers, both for the military and also in